Yo, what's up everybody? It's Peace-Eye. Welcome to another video. So today I've got for you the deck profile for the deck that I played at the last locals. I got to showcase a couple of combos. It was a mill deck, of course. And as you saw in the title, I probably put some Lightsworn zombie variant or whatever. But it was essentially Lightsworn zombie Tearlaments Horus predaplant with a small Brilliant Fusion package, of course, searchable by the predaplant. You could have searched Fusion Destiny and gone DPE, but this is a mill strategy, so you can't risk milling some of your engine pieces. But I might do like a predaplant type of Fiendsmith card or deck or whatever, since that one's not milling, and the predaplant engine can get you 2 bodies easily for full Fiendsmith combo. I was going to include Fiendsmith in this, but I ended up cutting it at the last minute so I could play more extra deck stuff, because like literally even like the bare bones is like 4 to 5 extra deck cards to play the Fiendsmith package, so like you kind of have to have your strategy like centered around it. But anyway, I'm just going to get into the deck profile for you guys. For those of you that are interested, I basically labbed this last Saturday, or maybe it was Thursday, at locals. I was hanging with Nick Stukel, who has shown Nouvelles on the channel, Lightsworn Zombie, I forgot what other deck he plays, Hero, and then Rudy, about like how we can break it, because I was really interested in Lightsworn Zombies because he tried it the other week, and I think I got his deck profile on the channel. Yes, I definitely do. He didn't understand how some of the cards worked, which I thought was funny. Like, he thought that DDD Wave High King Caesar was like a generic rank 6, but it's not. You need Fiends. But his list inspired me to try my own list. And it's based off of his list and then other lists I've seen online, in addition to a combo that we were talking about. But I will get into those specific cards when we get there. I've rambled on long enough. You probably already clicked off the video, unless you're like a loyal Lightsworn player and you want to check out this list. But we'll just get into the profile and see. Or if you watched the duels and you wanted to see what list I was actually playing for that tournament. So like I said, Lightsworn Zombie, Tearlaments Horus, and Predaplant. So let's get into the 60 card list. Of course, we played the grass, so I'll just spoilers that right now. All right, so for the Lightsworn engine, I played 3 of all the good names. So 3 Dragonling, 3 Weiss, 3 Wolf, 3 Fellis. He also played, and I see other people playing like a copy of Raiden, a Lumina, a main deck Minerva, but I opted for just these. And then I wanted more level 8 bodies. If you're resolving the Synchro Minerva, you're going to be banishing 4 different names, so you'll always have this live, and it's very easy to trigger. Basically, any 2 names gets you to a free rank 8 body and 4 extra mills, so I just thought that was really like an auto include here. And the effect to shuffle everything back is pretty broken. I think I resolved that in tournament once. But yeah. Then 3 Charge of the Light Brigade in order to search all your pieces. And then I did opt to add in the Lightsworn Aegis at the last second. I cut the Fiendsmith package, and then one of the cards that I added was the Aegis that I was not playing before, because the extra deck freed up, and I was able to play the rank 4 Minerva. So that was cool. So anyway, the zombie package. So you're basically using the Lightsworn package to give you rank 4, level 4 bodies, and then also to mill a bunch of cards from your deck. One of the reasons being the zombies really function well with being in the graveyard. So Mizuki is the Monster Reborn. You banish it, target a zombie, and then you special summon it from the graveyard. But as you guys know, the field spell Zombie World makes everything on the field and in the graveyard a zombie monster. So this can reborn anything. And that's what that's what we were thinking when we were labbing this deck. But I'll get to that, like I said. 2 Unizombie. So this is really good. It can dump either Mizuki from your deck or your hand, or Necroworld Banshee from your deck or your hand once it's on the field. To increase a level of a monster on the field, including itself, so you can make it a level 4 tuner instead of being a level 3. Another cool thing about it is that its hand discard effect can also just change levels of something on the field, which is really broken. I opted to play 1 Plague Spreader Zombie. since it's just a level 2 extender. You can dump it off of Sprint if you need access to it. Actually, for those of you that don't know what Necroworld Banshee is, you can banish it from field or graveyard to basically activate Zombie World from your deck, which is insane. Everyone knows what Plague Spreader Zombie does. It's a nice level 2. Next up, Gozuki. This one, you can dump a zombie from the deck while it's on field. Or I think it might be on normal summon or something. Normal or special. And then if it hits grave by any means, you can banish a zombie from your graveyard and special a zombie from your hand, which is cool. And then the last zombie monster is the Doom King Ballard Rock. So if you have a field spell, or if there is a field spell on the field during the standby phase, you can special summon this in defense position. And if the zombie monster activates effect, you can banish that monster or negate that effect. Both of which are broken. Especially with this card. Oh yeah, in tournament, I forgot this several turns in a row to reborn itself. I'm so bad. 3 Zombie World. This is really good against Fiendsmith strategy, which is another reason why I didn't really want to include the Fiendsmiths in this deck, because of the inherent floodgate that this is. You can only make your extra deck monsters with light fiends, and this card makes everything on the field in the graveyard a zombie, so it kind of just stops all that. So a decent floodgate for going first. Doesn't do much going second. But that's the zombie engine. Next up, the Tearlaments engine. I played an extremely small package. I just wanted to have access to a few fusions and to make my Rainbow Bridge of Salvation even stronger. Because if I was not including this package at all, then the Rainbow Bridge of Salvation would just be there for the Horus package, and the brick would feel worse. At least with the Rainbow Bridge of Salvation, you're getting the Kaleido Heart plus Sulliek, which gives you a fusion on your opponent's turn and a shuffle back and a negation, which is really strong, and I wanted to have access to that, especially since most combo hands, you do get 2 normal summons, so you don't have to feel bad about wasting your normal summon on that interaction. So the 1 Rhino Heart to normal summon, or if you mill it and you have a tier name, then you're broken. 1 Shiren. I did not play Halfness. There was just no room, and I don't think that I needed the fusion name, but I did play Merrily since you can dump this off of Sprite Sprint. And then this was a level 4, so it just makes sense with the deck. I didn't really have use for the Halfness. The 1 Tier Planet, so that I can search this engine out via the ways to search field spells. 1 Scream to dump to search one of the 2 Sullieks. The 2 Sullieks is just if I mill one, I can search one of the monsters, and I still have the other one in deck to have as disruption for my opponent's turn. But that's everything for the tier package, so it's really small, just 7 main deck cards. Next up, the Horus engine. Shout out to Team Bad Cards for the birthday present. 3 Mseti, 1 Happy, 1 King Sarcophagus, and then the 1 Walls of the Imperial Tomb to search out your Mseti. So, I mean, this package is insane, but you only find it in decks that are bad. So that's the Horus engine. Next engine is the Predaplant engine. So Lone Fire Blossom, you just cycle through these to thin your deck. Or if you're under Fualos, you definitely don't want to do that. To summon out your Predaplant Orphis Scorpio. So on normal or special, you send a monster from your hand to the graveyard to special summon a Predaplant from your deck. So this is a hard brick. This is called Predaplant Darlingtonia Cobra. So when it's summoned off of a Predaplant effect, you get to search your deck for any fusion or polymerization card. So this searches any fusion card in the game. Fusion Destiny, Brilliant Fusion, Branded Fusion, whatever you want. Regular polymerization, it searches it. So that's the Predaplant package. For the Predaplant package, I also played an Instant Fusion. This will become more apparent when I get to the extra deck. But yeah, there's a couple different targets for this, but there's one target that actually turns on your entire Predaplant package. So I just wanted the extra consistency in terms of that. Now, there are ways to get this back into your deck. The Punishment Dragon, the Plague Spreader Zombie, the Saryuja, the Tearlaments monsters to fuse it away and put it back. So there's many ways to put your bricks back into the deck, but it still sucks to draw them. Oh, duh. This is one of the best ways to put your bricks back. Literally the Horus field spell. So there's tons of ways to put your bricks back if you're going to be like talking in the comments about, oh, you draw Garnet all the time. Oh, you draw the Predaplant, whatever. yeah, you're playing a 60 card deck. The whole point is to mill, have fun, and be able to play a bunch of bricks and still be consistent because you play so many cards and you're not going to draw them as often. Imagine if I was playing 4 bricks in 40. That's 10% of my deck is bricks. Anyway, 3 Foolish Barrel of Goods. I really like this engine. I started using this engine a while back to send the Rainbow Bridge of Salvation, or any Tearlaments card for that matter, to search. But this just searches any field spell in the game and your trusty, dusty Tortoise, your Crystal Beast monster. But yeah, this engine is just great. I was playing it in Tearlaments, like I mentioned, Tearlaments Fiendsmith, that was on the channel, showcased, I think a week ago, at the time that this video is coming out, maybe 2 weeks ago at this point, because I post so much. But yeah, it's just really cool that you can automatically have access to any field spell in the game. Like, that's crazy. That's just at the cost of a brick and then a card that you really don't want to see in your hand, but there's ways to get this out of your hand. Like the Horus engine, for example. Next up, Brilliant Fusion, fresh off the ban list. You know we had to do it to them. I've been wanting to play a deck around this for so long. I played 60 card Drytron, which was actually showcased on MCO40's channel. And I did actually get to resolve this a couple times in that Drytron list. And then when you're playing a package like this these days, where everything's so fast and powerful and you need to guarantee that you can set up a board, you need ways in every deck to put back your bricks. I already showed you how to put back some bricks in this deck, but in my Drytron list, I used Illusion of Chaos to put my Garnet back on top of my deck and then activate my Brilliant Fusion from my hand. In that deck, it's basically just an extra Foolish Burial that gives you a level 5 body on board, and you can normal summon both of your fairies if you want. But in this deck, you search it off of the Predaplant engine to help you make Saryuja and get an extra normal summon, which is really broken. If you already have access to your main target for this, your light target, you can dump a wolf or something like that, and it'll reborn itself. The main target, and the reason I wanted to play Lightsworn Zombie, is because Archlord Christia is a card. So, essentially the combo that I talked about with Nick and Rudy was having a broken light monster to dump off of Brilliant Fusion, since Fairy Tale Snow is still banned, that we could utilize as a floodgate. Now, with the zombie package, if you have access to mill out your Necro World Banshee, you can put Zombie World on the field, making everything in your graveyard a zombie monster, which means you can use Mizuki to monster reborn literally anything from your graveyard. Any monster that you summon from the extra deck, any monster from your main deck. I think I summoned back a Kaleido Heart during the tournament with Mizuki. I think I also summoned back a Horus monster. Like, you can summon anything, including this broken floodgate. So the idea was to Mizuki special summon our Archlord Christia on top of our board after we've done everything else, and just basically push through a bunch of hand traps and set up that floodgate to make them not be able to play the game. And then finally, the grass that I showed you at the beginning of the profile. Dang, this video is already long, and I'm only through the main deck. But that was essentially the idea. I don't think I resolved it, but shout out to fan favorite Jesse, who was on, I think, Primite Blue Eyes. He made Lina, and he reborned my Christia. That was hilarious. Anyway, extra deck. We'll start off with the fusions. Muddragon of the Swamp. This is your first instant fusion target. This also helps you utilize the Tearlaments engine to put back bricks from your graveyard, the dark bricks, like the Predaplant Darlingtonia Cobra, back into your deck by fusion summoning. And it gives you a level 4 body that you can have on the field to overlay with, which is really nice. But yeah, also instant fusion target. So lots of versatility with the Muddragon of the Swamp. Here is your other instant fusion target. Predaplant Ambulomedles. I just call this Predaplant Ambulance. Essentially, you can tribute a monster you control or a monster on the field with a predator counter. That is not impossible to happen, by the way, because you do have the Predaplant Dracostapelia that I'll get to later, that can put a predator counter on one of your opponent's cards. So you can just tribute one of their monsters. That didn't happen in tournament, obviously, but it is not impossible. But you can tribute that monster and special summon from your deck a Predaplant monster. So you special summon either the Orphis Scorpio if you need an extra body, or you just summon the Darlingtonia Cobra and then instantly search your Brilliant Fusion or whatever you want off of that. So by adding Instant Fusion on there, if you draw it, it equals either another level 4 body as an extender, or it equals full predaplant combo to search your Brilliant Fusion out of your deck, which is really nice. I thought it was cool, so that's why I included it there. And I had room since I cut the Fiendsmith package, and like I said at the beginning, that's like 6 slots in your extra deck. But yeah, if you're playing a deck like this, you can even cut this down to 40 and then see your Instant Fusion more often, but you will see your Garnet more often too. But this is really cool that you can basically utilize this to search any fusion card in the game. Really cool, really cool. Actually, I don't know why they don't play Instant Fusion in Branded. Well, actually, no, that's just terrible. Never mind. You could do it, but I wouldn't recommend it. The one Gemnite Seraphinite, I think these are blowing up in price, but I had this from a million years ago. What was this printed? Shiva. But yeah, it's also a common in an OTS, so everyone should have this. But yeah, I'm showing off my secret rare. Yeah, extra normal summon and just free body from the Brilliant Fusion, which is really nice. Next, I opted to play my Duke of Demise. So this is any 2 fiends or zombie monsters, and it gives you an extra normal summon. You can banish it from your graveyard to add a fiend or a fusion level 4 or higher to your hand. Like, this card's just broken. Like, once you have Zombie World on the field, you can basically add anything from your graveyard to your hand. It's level 6, so, and it's dark, so it's really easy to make Chaos Angel with any Lightsworn body. Like, it's just all around a really cool card, and I opted to play it. You could summon this, since it's a fiend, off of the Fiendsmith package, but I didn't play the Fiendsmith package. So basically, this was only here for when you have Zombie World up, and you literally put anything back from your graveyard with the Tearlaments monster. So you can put back your Garnet, any one of your other brick monsters, back into your deck to summon this thing that gives you an extra normal summon, which is broken. And this is a condition that you just like get an extra normal summon, but then this one is an activated effect where you get to normal summon. So I believe these stack. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but you can essentially get 3 normal summons in a turn with this combination. I didn't resolve it, so it never came up with the judge call, but that's how I think it works. Predaplant Dracostapelia. You're always going to have a fusion in graveyard just because of the way this deck plays. So any Tearlaments card basically gives you a Predaplant Dracostapelia on the field, which is really nice. Being able to change your opponent's levels and negate their activated effects. And it's just a big, strong, level 8 dark body on your field. Final fusion is the Kaleido Heart that I mentioned. So this is what you can basically start your turn off with. And then you've got that as insulation for later stuff, I guess. Like, I don't know. It's not even really insulation, but you can bring it back off of the Mizuki if you've already reborned it once and it gets outed again. So that's the fusions. Next up is the synchros. The Minerva Synchro. If you're watching this list, you don't need me to explain that card. I played Cyframe Lord Omega, so I utilized this as an overlay body, and then I used its graveyard effect to shuffle back something. So this is another way to get your bricks back into your deck. There's many different ways to put your bricks back into your deck, which is really funny. Also, during your opponent's standby phase, you get to put your Mizuki from your banish zone back into your graveyard for follow-up. So this is a huge threat. Omega has always been a mainstay in Lightsworn zombie lists, and usually we would end on multiple copies of this, but unfortunately the ban list doesn't like us, and it's at 1. Finally, Chaos Angel. You guys also should have access to Chaos Angel. It's a very good card in this. Obviously, the Fiendsmith package is very good at pooping it out with the Necroquip Princess and the Lacrima, but if you want to go budget, Zombies is a great way. You could even play Mizuki. Zombie Lightsworn is a great way to make a light and dark Chaos Angel, but it would be even easier with Mizukis. You could just play pure Lightsworn with Mizukis, and then making this is very easy. And the light and dark Chaos Angel is pretty hard to out in certain game states. Like, it has to be outed by a spell or trap or just tributing over it. So those are the synchros. Next up, XYZs. I wanted to play Pilgrim Reaper so bad, but I couldn't justify it because I didn't have access to a bunch of level 6 bodies, and the deck was so tight because I wanted to include a big zombie engine and a Lightsworn engine, which are inherently bad cards, so I suffered a lot because of that. But I did play a couple of rank 4s and one rank 8. I played Dugaris the Timeless. So this sends from hand as card effect for the draw 2 discard one, which is really nice. So you can trigger your Tearlaments cards, and it just gets cards out of your hand into the graveyard. The draw 2 is nice, but like you like it for the discard. You can also reborn your Christia from your graveyard, I think. Yep, special summon any monster from your graveyard in defense position. So if you can't access Zombie World and you do mill your guy, you can just reborn it that way, and your Floodgate is turned on. Minerva, like I said, I wanted to play it if I'm playing Aegis. I need an easy way to stick a Lightsworn monster on the board to make my Aegis live. And I think I got to draw off of this and pop off of this in tournament. The pop was against David 3 hand trap full combo Montoya. I think he popped it with one of his silly Fire King cards, and I milled a Fellis or something like that, or maybe a Weiss, and I was able to pop one of his cards, his continuous spell. Next up, Zombie Vampire for the, what the heck is it called? Horus Engine. Next up, Link's Sprite Sprint for dumping Plague Spreader Zombie or Merrily. SP Little Knight, what you link into to make Sprite Sprint. This, you bring it back off Mizuki. The extract is so tight, I couldn't find any other Link 2s to put in here. Like, obviously, if I was playing the Fiendsmith package, it would be a no-brainer. But these are the only Link 2s in the deck, which is funny. Because I really wanted to play Saryuja. I actually tested this deck a little bit and cut, what was it called? Forgetting the name. Vampire Sucker. I cut Vampire Sucker from this deck in order to play Saryuja because you just flood the board with a bunch of monsters and it's very easy to just link 4, get rid of them, and then actually free up space on your board for your end board pieces, which is actually kind of funny. And the 3 effects of Saryuja are broken. Well, not so much the attack increase, but the special summoning from hand and the sculpting your hand. Another way to put back bricks. This profile is really long, so I'm just going to speed through the side deck. The side deck didn't even come up too much because I was so discouraged playing this deck that I didn't even want to side. I just wanted it to be over quickly, so I just... Most games, you can actually see that I'm just like, I don't even need to side because this deck is just garbage. There's nothing I can do to fix it. I think I sided in the Ash once early on in the tournament when I still had faith to negate my opponent's Mulcharmies. I think that was against Lucky Kyron. And then after that, I realized that it doesn't matter. I'm not going to see any of these anyway. So this doesn't even matter. This is basically just my Tearlaments side deck. And I figured that it was a 60-card deck, so it would be the same. But so 3 Ash, 3 Droll, Harpy's Feather Duster, double Lightning Storm, 3 Forbidden Droplet, and 3 Evenly Matched. Now that I've done this terrible deck profile, I can finally take this deck apart. I might revamp it later on and go like a 40-card build. My cat just bolted out of here. Might make it a 40-card build and see how I like it, but the Lightsworn package is just so not good anymore. I mean, I tried it with Runic. You can see those duels and the deck profiles on the channel earlier. Like, that was cool. Like, you could synchro, make 4 big synchro boss monsters, Cypher Immortal, Mega, your Chaos Angel that's protecting the rest of your board, and you just have a decent board. But, like, you're turboing through your deck with that one. Activating all your Runic cards, drawing multiple times, clearing your extra monster zone. But in this deck, you're just praying that you have access to grass. And maybe it was my fault for not playing Thrust or playing Left Arm Offering to activate that. But I did resolve grass a couple times in tournament, once for 20 mills. And like you saw the mills, I got to activate 3 cards. It wasn't even that good. If you missed that, make sure you go back and check it out if you've watched 24 minutes into this deck profile. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Subscribe for more, I guess. Bye.